Now is the time, a time you'll look back on, a time you adopt as inspiration. You will recollect this time, this moment, right now. Motivate yourself towards success. Overcome, take over. The time is now.
Easy now. Yes, get in.
Jeez.
He's with us. Finally over the line. We got one over the line.
Buzzing.
How are you feeling, lads?
Absolutely buzzing, Daz. Like, you know, I was saying just before we went live then, like, this feels like, you know, start of a really big journey. I know we said the same about Botman, we said the same about Bruno, but when you sign a £63 million striker who's, you know, highly regarded and renowned around, you know, Europe, that he's one of the top prospects, it's just like, yeah, it's a good feeling. And then obviously our neighbours down the road didn't have very good news today either, did they? So that kind of rubbed salt in the wounds a little bit more as well. But now absolutely delighted, and just can't wait to see him pull the jersey on now. Can't wait.
How are you feeling, Pete? And you probably haven't seen it yet, but you have to check out the Isak versus Henry video. That clip is class. You have to watch that. Be afraid, everyone. Be afraid.
Yeah. If he's anything like Thierry Henry, we are in for an absolute treat. But look, I'm in a great mood. It's Friday. We are very happy. Record signing is in the house. I'm buzzing. Look, a few days ago, we didn't even know where our next signing was going to come from, and now we've just broke our record with arguably one of the top 3 best young strikers in Europe. Don't get much better than this.
No.
Exactly. And let's look at some of the pictures that they're out as well. Him signing the contract. Of course, the question was what jersey he was going to wear. I know Adam P got his number 14 yesterday evening, but yeah, he was right. He called it. Well done, Adam. Number 14. And here
That's
he is in the
2 now, isn't it?
It's 2 for 2 for Adam. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Doing well.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then in the third kit and in his new home. That's a brilliant picture. Love that.
Yeah.
And yeah, imagine that with the Future 2000 around him and celebrating a goal. Bring it on. But yeah, we've so much to look forward to. And it hasn't been cleared up yet. Can he play for Wolves? They're waiting on the international clearance or something.
Mm.
Yeah. So he's been, I think he's been registered in time.
Yeah.
But I think he needs international clearance to be allowed to play. That's my understanding. I could be wrong, but so I think, you know, it's all set up for him to be able to play. Look, he's a Swedish international. There shouldn't be an issue with international clearance. He should get the okay. I'd be shocked if he didn't, if I'm honest, because there was lots of talk, and I'm catching up. But there was a lot of talk around the time of the sort of midday cutoff that he was going to be registered in time, and that he was registered in time. So yeah, they would have looked at that ahead. And with Wilson out, boy, do we need him. We need him in.
Yeah, but and a lot of people say it's not done till he's wearing the jersey and the scarf is above his head. I guess it's done. It's done. So there you go. The doubters can take a sigh of relief now at this stage. But Chris, you wanted to look at some stats as well on them. Do you want to go for that now?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, so we preloaded some stats on him, only very basic ones, but yeah, just to have a look at his his scoring records over the years. So obviously he started his career at AIK, where he made 24 appearances, scored 10 goals. He then progressed to Borussia Dortmund. So as we can see there, he was in the second team, if you like, for Borussia Dortmund. Played 12, scored 5. And then weirdly, yeah, he only made 5 appearances for the first team for Dortmund, didn't score any goals, but he had a really, as you can see, a successful loan with Willem II, where he made 16 appearances and scored 13 goals, and then obviously he's then ended up at Real Sociedad. And to be fair, you know, those and you know, I always say this, lads, and I know you feel the same. It's all well and good, isn't it, looking at stats and, you know, seeing the figures, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever, but sometimes the stats don't always tell the full story. I mean, we know in the previous season that he only scored six goals for Sociedad, but we know, because we've gone into detail about Alexander Isak, that, you know, he ended up playing a bit more withdrawn role. There was also times where he wasn't, you know, making as many appearances because they had Serloff, who used to play for Crystal Palace. He came into the Sociedad team, so obviously that, you know, muddied the waters a little bit. But the season before, I'm pretty sure he made, what was it, 34, 35 appearances, and he scored 17 goals. And don't forget, lads, this is the 22-year-old we're talking about here. And we can see there, you know, for Sweden, he's made 37 senior appearances and scored 9 goals. We've seen quotes from Zlatan Ibrahimovic, whether or not they're true or not, I don't know. But we've heard Alexander Isak being mentioned for, you know, a number of years across Europe. You know, there's lots of big teams that have been in for him, and the fact that we've managed to secure him is just something else. I mean, just to follow on from those stats, we do have a quote, and we know this quote is true, from Eddie Howe, and he says, "I'm very excited that Alexander has chosen to join us. He's an outstanding talent who is capable of making big contributions to the team. He's technically very good with a mix of attributes that will complement us, but he is also at a great age to grow with the club." And you know, that is absolutely right what Eddie's saying there. 22 years of age, this lad is only going to get better. And you know, you mentioned them before, Daz, you know, about like comparing him to the likes of Thierry Henry. It's just, honestly, I can't put into words how much of a big signing this is for the club. Really can't.
You know, it's you just used to being linked to the next big thing, but you never have a hope of ever coming anywhere near Newcastle. So we're actually getting someone that's up there now, that has the potential, and he's gonna he should hopefully, fingers crossed, he can hit the ground running. Potentially he could even score in his debut, but let's get him started first.
Let's get him in. Let's get him in first. Yeah.
So we'll give him
as Pete said, you know, he's been registered in time. Obviously, the deadline for that was 12 o'clock on Friday. That's all been done as far as we know. We're now just waiting for the international clearance. But Pete, I wanted to ask you this, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I watched back. I think it was it last night's episode with Sean Casey? I think it was. But I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. You know, you mentioned that. And again, I'm not digging you out here, but you mentioned that Alexander Isak's coming in, and some people will say he's equivalent level to Callum Wilson. Some people will say he's a better level to Callum Wilson. What I want to ask you is, do you see Alexander Isak coming in and being that number 9? Or do you think, you know, there's a possibility that Eddie's going to put him out wide? Do you think that Eddie might, you know, change the formation and play him a bit more withdrawn? Or do you very much see him as the number 9 going forward?
I think eventually he'll be our number 9, but certainly, you know, look, Callum Wilson, as Eddie Howe has confirmed today, is going to be out for at least a couple of weeks. So for me, it makes perfect sense for him to be the number 9. He's ready to go. He's, you know, last week he was only scoring goals against Barcelona, so the guy's ready. You know, he's not got nothing to prove. He will play in my opinion, or should play as a frontline striker at Molineux on Sunday, and then at Liverpool and then at Crystal Palace. When Wilson comes back in, I actually can see them playing together, and this is where I see maybe Miggy being transitioned out the team, because look, you've got someone that is, you know, just as quick as Miggy, better on the ball maybe than Miggy, can link the play better on that right hand side, but equally and more importantly, can score goals from that position too. So it makes sense to transition him and drift him out. But long term, he'll fight with Callum Wilson for that top spot. And this is kind of like this is a calling just as much not to Isak but to Callum Wilson, because Callum Wilson's got it all to prove. He said he was going to, be fit and ready and raring to go. He lasted 3 games, and I love Callum Wilson. He's a terrific striker, but we cannot depend on a striker that's, getting injured every 3, 4, 5 games and being out for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. It doesn't work for us. Not where we're going. So this is going to be a huge calling for him, and I think, being honest, I can genuinely see Alexander Isak playing more games as our frontline striker this season now than Callum Wilson. You do not sign a £58 million striker to sit on the bench or to play a bit part. You don't do it. It's the same as Sven Botman. I said it when Sven Botman came in. You don't pay 33, 35 million for a top level centre back to come and sit on the bench, and it won't happen. He'll play games. So I do. I think ultimately he'll be a frontline striker, but I think to transition here and there, he will play on the right hand side at times too.
Just to let people know, away days is on a half 7, so don't worry about that. We just said we'd put a quick show together just to celebrate Alexander Isak coming to Newcastle and us breaking our transfer record.
Dan, little Dan's waiting. He's ready. He's ready to go for away days. He's just spoke to me, so do not worry. 7:30 away days is coming to you. No doubt about it. We're ready to go.
And just look, I wanted to show a few pictures as well. I'm sure everyone's seen them on Twitter, but just of him meeting a few of the lads. There he is with Popey, of Twitter fame, Popey, with Trips, the leader, the captain. Can Isak take a free kick?
Don't know, actually. Don't know.
He has taken free kicks. He has taken free kicks.
It'd be interesting.
He can. He scored a couple too. But look, I don't think after Sunday, look, Alexander Isak would have watched that game. There is no way he's going to come up to Kieran Trippier on Sunday if we get a free kick and go, can I have it?
Man,
if he's going to say that to Fabian Shaw, who's not about free kick taker himself, if he's going to go now on your bike to Fabian Shaw, Isak's got no chance.
Imagine if he came in and says, yeah, I'm taking free kicks, and I'll have the number 9, please. Imagine that reaction. That'd go down well. But no, I'm sure they're doing character checks and everything. And these boys will complement each other as well. It'll be great to see them playing on the same pitch in time as well, as Pete, you've just highlighted there, and playing out wide.
What do you reckon? What do you reckon those smiles are all about in that picture? Is it a smile from Isak to say, I can't wait to work with you, we're going to score goals together, we're going to tear it up? Or is it going to be, sorry, my man, looks like I'm taking your spot? What do you think?
I don't know. It looks like Isak's looking pretty confident there. I think Callum Wilson, judging by his face, looks a little bit nervous. I mean, do you know what? And this is something we can discuss going forward, isn't it, lads? But how nice now that we've got 2 more than capable strikers there, and Eddie Howe may turn around and think, you know what? Let's get the 2 of them up front. Do you know what I mean? Let's revert to 2 up front and maybe have Maxi and Miggy as midfielders. A left midfield, right midfield. Could do something like that. Who knows? Because it's going to be difficult for Eddie Howe to leave one of them out if they're both fit. I think he's gonna struggle. And again, like you said earlier, Pete, do we want to put Isak out in the wing, or sorry, I'm gonna have to get this pronounced right, Isak. Do we want to get Isak out on the wing, or do we want him through the middle, because that's where the threat's going to be? This is it's a nice problem to have, but Eddie's gonna have to really consider that now, I think, going forward.
Bet she's saying 50 quid I outscore you this season, something like that.
Oh. Now, the reason why I said it is because I've been in that situation before. When you sign at a new club, or when you go, or when someone comes and joins your club and they're playing a similar position, it's like you want to kind of welcome them in, but at the same time you're a bit like, Like, if you're the new star coming in, you're thinking, yeah, nice to meet you, but yeah, I'm looking to take your place right now. Or it could be, yeah, we're gonna, you know what, talk front, we're gonna work together. Let's work together. Let's score goals, like the Beardsley Cole, the Shearer, Ferdinand kind of thing. When they both come. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. But look, regardless of what happens, it's gonna provide competition, and the only ones who benefit from it is us. So,
Absolutely.
Oh well.
It's happy days.
And of course, there's another pick as well. Meeting Eddie and Emil Kraft. Actually, get well soon, Emil Kraft. But he's well able to speak English. There was a question I had last night. The interview today, he's well able to speak English. But lovely to see him meeting Eddie as well. So yeah,
Swedish friends, Daz. Swedish friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
That was it on the pictures, lads. We said we were going to do this really quick show, so just anything else you want to say before we wrap it up? I've two things I want to say before we close. Like, if you haven't checked out that 7-minute clip we extracted from with Surma Hunter when we talked about Alexander Isak, check that out, and obviously pointed people to away days. Get on in 10 minutes time. Get on away days. Talking up the big game on Sunday. That's it for me. Anything else, lads?
From my point of view, it's welcome Alexander Isak. Who's next?
Don't start that again. We had all that last night. All right. It's a good night for me. You'll see these two boys in a few minutes.
All I want
everyone else, switch over to away days. We're on.
Get on it.
Just under 10 minutes.
How?
We're ready to go.
Eddie. How? We have to find one for Isak now. Good night.